Hey guys, this is Notser, and today we're going to be taking a look at the legendary French commander piloting a legendary French battleship, namely the Jean Bart. It's the premium tier 9 French battleship with main battery reload. Everyone knows the ship, it's wonderful, and I'm using the alternative camo scheme, so you also get an opportunity to check that out as well. And if I do say so myself, it looks pretty nice. I'm really digging the colors. And also you get a preview of the tracer color for the legendary French commander, which, it looks nice. It's appropriate for the alternative camo scheme we're rocking. Now, my commander is on the screen. My build is on the screen for my commander. I did invest enough points to get it 19 so I could do this. And just you save up elite commander XP, it works out. It's a tank build. I'm not going secondary. I'm just trying to make myself the most mitigation, keep my guns up for as long as possible, having a fast recharge on my damage control so that I can then deal with whatever dot damage that might occur. But for the most part, I shouldn't lose my guns or my steering or my maneuvering, my rudder. If something happens like that, then I really took a big shot on it. I need to be careful. But preventative maintenance, priority target, expert marksman, concealment, superintendent, fire prevention. I really like this tank build. It works out very well, and I don't give up too much. I swapped basics of survivability for high alert plus preventative maintenance. I think those two together work out very well, and they cost the exact same amount of skill points. So, initial spawn, I was on the west side with my team and my division, and I noticed that the center might be open for maybe a potential push forward. We do have a friendly Atlanta that could be watching our eastern flank, so trying to work together to capture this base, we might set up a nice flank on the enemy. They're so far away from the center that this is absolutely an option. And you don't want to make a play like this unless you've got backup. And with the Atlanta there, I feel confident that we can deal with a stray DD that might show up. And I don't really have to push too far forward. I have, good concealment, obviously, because I do have every concealment that I can. Camouflage, the module, and the commander skill. So I'm just hoping to capture this base, and then I will move forward with the next stage of our plan. But first, we've got to capture the base. So the legendary commander has 3 passives. Survivability expert is enhanced, but that's not a relevant skill to French battleships, so I wouldn't expect you to take that. But from the passive standpoint, it's actually very interesting. So each time you capture a base, you probably just saw it, Sparks of the Resistance talent activated. Every time you capture or assist with a capture, you receive 1% fire increase permanently for the rest of the game. Every 2 million potential damage that you are able to avoid, you will receive an 8% bump in speed for the ship. And that's pretty cool too, French are fast. They've got the ability to move around the map, main battery reload, speed boost, all that. So it works very well to encourage more active mitigation, especially on cruisers and destroyers. I have not really been impressed with the potential fire damage for the battleships, but I was really impressed when I used it in my Henri. And then the final skill, which is probably every battleship's wet dream, every single time you get a devastating strike, your main armament reload is faster by 5%. And it's stackable. So it's a pretty intimidating skill to deal with once you realize that's in fact what you're dealing with. So very excited to see exactly what class this commander works best on. And so far, not really a lot's been going on. We got B point, and the enemy is aggressively pushing into A because they feel like they have the advantage. But what they fail to realize is that I am getting into a crazy flank position without anyone seeing me, and I'm hoping to take advantage of that and look good doing it, because man, this powder blue, I love the alternative camo for the Jean Bart. I really enjoyed the ship before, but I especially enjoy it knowing that this is the alternative camo scheme, because it does a good job of being different and being attractive. So, of course, waterline shot on this guy, 17,000. He's going to burn down to fire. And honestly, I kind of regret using main battery reload. It just ends up being a waste of a skill here. I didn't realize I was going to get quite that kind of damage on the target. And just like that, one of the 3 ships that could be in front of me, they're gone. I had my main battery reload, kind of didn't get the most value out of it, but we succeeded in killing a target, and that's the most important thing. It's okay that I didn't get every single salvo doing massive damage. Now, as we're creeping up here, the Scharnhorst is going straight north. We have a Soyuz also in the area behind an island, and I'm trying to position myself so I take the least amount of damage, but I'm also mindful of working through the targets that I can most reasonably deal with. And the Scharnhorst, he was perfectly broadside, of course, and the Rune tried to set us up for a torpedo, but we are French. We've got great speed boost, great acceleration and deacceleration. It's a wonderful trait of the French, and the Scharnhorst is kind of in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot, let's be real. But we aim near the top of the hull and don't really get what I'm looking for. The Soyuz is also working himself around. There is obviously a potential threat from the Rune to drop more torpedoes. This isn't looking good, right? This seems like an overextension. Maybe we're going to farm enough potential damage so we can see a speed boost increase, but we're probably dead shortly, right? And I'm fully aware of that. The Scharnhorst sends out torpedoes. We dodge those. We get a Citadel on the Rune, looking for another follow-up, and the Scharnhorst sends his second set behind us. So we're completely safe. The Rune overshoots us as well. There's nothing they can do. They're all gonna die. So, of course, since they're all gonna die, we're just gonna let them die. So the Rune knocked out, and I actually get the kill on that. The Scharnhorst, in one of the slowest chases you could ever possibly have, I'm trying to maintain good angling that will cause that 283 to bounce harmlessly off. The guns are boop, 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 moving into position, so we're going to aim at the front guns. And with the shell trajectory and the flight time, it will carry it into the superstructure. It is a great play, and it's very easy to reliably use, so make use of it. Now, obviously, the Soyuz is still alive. The East has fallen. The enemy crushed us so hard. We've got to try and concentrate on taking the Fiji out, taking the Soyuz out, and surviving. And I did choose to use main battery reload because I was trying to help the friendly cruiser, but it doesn't end up saving his life, and just like that, we lose 2 more people. I'm doing pretty pathetic damage to the Soyuz. I'm not feeling too good about this game. But you know what I am feeling good about? I was able to do really good against those ships. If I use the island to block the Soyuz's line of sight, and we actually did a pretty good job of doing a little bit of damage there, then maybe I can ambush the Fiji. He does have smoke over here behind the island. I don't know how long it's been there, and it looks like he was afraid of being flanked, and rightfully so. He should have been afraid because he died in a single salvo from me, and it looked lovely. But we have to be careful. He could have dropped torpedoes. Well, we have plenty of health to take torpedoes. Yeah, normally we do, but the game isn't looking that good. And yep, sure enough, the Fiji did send torpedoes. I wanted to verify. Once we confirm that the torpedoes did indeed get sent, I can then commit to turning the ship around. And the Soyuz can't see me. And the enemy DD in the center of the map, he can't see me either. So we can safely reposition our bow towards the enemy. And we lose another friendly ship, unfortunately. But I do get sight of the Fletcher, so I'm going to try and assist a little bit with some damage. And we get 2 shells, 1 overpin and 1 regular pin, which is an overpin for DDs like the Fletcher, so it's basically 2. And that's cool. Enemy Soyuz tries to send shells downrange. 5,000, nothing to discount, of course, but it's not ending our life. And I decide, okay, well, the Soyuz is, he's hard enough. We've got to be careful. I want to use this island, especially this tall one right next to me, to block his shots and try and focus my efforts towards the Fletcher and some of these ships that look to be working themselves into B point to support the Fletcher in other ways. And I want to be very careful. I want to see what the Soyuz is willing to do or show. I don't want to overextend, and friendly is able to detect with surface that I don't think the Fletcher expected to be as close to friendlies on my team as he ended up being. And just the slowest turret traverse ever. You feel like, oh, he's going to use smoke, he's going to do everything he can, but it doesn't matter. The shells fly true, and they're very accurate. And I didn't even need main battery once again. Are you kidding me? We're wasting another main battery. But getting him dead was important. And if, for whatever reason, we overpin or miss, I need to try and get a follow-up into the Fletcher, because if he's sitting in smoke, he can torpedo me. I can't hide from that. So by getting rid of him quickly, it's opened up our playability. And I really want people to feel that in their play. They have to decide what is best for their ability to contribute. And of course, the Soyuz knocks out or incapacitates one of our front guns. And that is a real incapacitation. We've got main armament and we have preventative maintenance, everything to protect it from being incapacitated. It worked out very well. It honestly looks like he's either aiming for the superstructure or he's aiming for the guns. And either way, it's bad for me. And we're taking fire from some lightly armored ship with a small gun. Very annoying. I'm going to just fire on cooldown at the superstructure, and he incapacitates it again. And I feel like, how am I expected to deal with this? But what is this guy doing? Is he going to show a full broadside? Man, do I wish I had the second gun so I could just pump 8 shells into him. I'll take 4, though. And it does look like we do get 2 citadels, and that is pretty much all of his life. If we had that second gun, he would have been gone. And I don't think it's a coincidence that my gun was incapacitated twice. I do believe that's what he intended to do. He didn't plan, though, for both guns still being active, and he was punished for that. And I'm just waiting for him to soften his angle. I'm going to aim for the super. I don't want to play with a slightly angled citadel that has too much armor for my 380s. I just wanted to do the guaranteed damage. Once again, he incapacitates. I'm so thankful that I did everything to try and mitigate this, because if I wouldn't have had main armament or preventative maintenance, I probably would not have any front guns. But as it stands, we finished the target off. That is our 5th kill. And we're still tied. It is a very close, tight game. I am incredibly concerned that we won't be able to deal with this. But so far, so good, right? So we knock out that aircraft, and it's dark. The enemy has 2 bases to our 1, and eventually we'll win if we don't make a play. While I'm in this position, Rutan in the Alsace is weathering some torpedo storms and some battleships firing on him. Judge is already dead. He tried his best, but it's a very difficult game. This requires a lot of carry because the east side was just pathetic on our team. So as I'm moving forward, I was contemplating, okay, do I want to go completely forward, keeping the island right on my port side? Do I want to turn into this gap and sort of work myself behind and get a flank on the Izimo and the Vladivostok, I believe. It's another battleship. But where's the DD? You know, the DD could point blank torp me and finish me off. So I don't want to be too committed with a strat, but I'm also aware that we got to kind of make a play. If we just sit here, the enemy's going to gain more and more and more points, and then we'll be relying on our teammates not dying, and so far, it has not worked out. Our team has figured a lot of ways of dying quickly, so I'm sort of in a weird spot here. I was like, I would love to push forward, but if I push forward too fast, it'll be dangerous. So I'm just going to wait here just a little bit longer to see what happens. Cleveland spotted, super far away. Could pull the trigger. Izimo looks to be stationary, so I don't think he's ever going to give me a chance. And what is this? Oh, hello there, Fletcher. The Fletcher thought I did something, and unfortunately for the Fletcher, he was wrong. We did not do anything. We just outweighted you. And conveniently, he was broadside stuck. And that is our 6th kill of the game. This now allows us to be incredibly aggressive. We unfortunately lose the North Carolina. And just as I was saying that, you know, they still have a 2-base-to-1 advantage, so we still need to make a play. And oh, that's a really cute torpedo send. But it's just not enough for the French battleship. I'm way too fast, able to back up, go forward. I'm going to rotate through this gap, and I'm going to get the side flank of the Vladivostok and the Izimo. Rutan is pushing forward in his Alsace, and I would love nothing more than to take this Izimo kill right from under him. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that, of course, he survives. That is my intent. I want to make sure my teammate is healthy and happy. Make sure the guns are completely around. fire the target, get the broadside kill, earn high caliber. That is the 7th kill. And let's go get 8. Now, the Vladivostok is moving backwards. We now have a point advantage, but it's not going to be for long, so I wanted to try and get over to B as quickly as possible. But I want to be careful. I've done a great job for my team. If the Vladivostok wanted to do something kind of crazy, maybe he gets a kill from the Alsace and then rams me. That would be a terrible play for my team. So I switched to high explosive. I'm going to pump shell after shell after shell into his nose. I'm going to force him to have to just take damage. If it was armor piercing, I would need to aim for the superstructure. He's not going to give me a side. And hope that the gun turrets and his gun barrels don't block the shells for damage. So I'd rather just do high explosive. Most likely he's going to burn for a significant amount of time since he's a Soviet battleship. So we're just going to inch our way forward. Very, very, very careful not to go too fast because I don't know what he wants to do. And I want to position myself so that he has to rotate around the island rather than just do a straight shot and ram my ship. So we're just going to inch ourselves just ever so slightly. And oh, he's doing it too. He's doing it too. He's trying to either contest or get in position to ram, which I was obviously terrified of. And because I have forward-mounted guns, well, it's going to be really hard to miss from this range. And we set a fire to him. Every single shell hits his nose. 13,000 damage, just what I wanted to see. I do choose to use main battery reload. And once again, we're going to pump even more into it. And we get that next follow-up fire because his damage control has already been used. And if this is all he wants to do, that's fine with me. And he gives a little honk. I knew what he wanted to do. And I didn't want the ram to change the outcome. And it seemingly is going exactly as planned, but he, of course, backs up. Maybe he does a little hitch, comes forward, rams me again. It could have gotten really bad if the player would have probably pressed, but it worked out in the end exactly as we wanted. I was able to kill the target in the nose without taking much damage. You know, he just was pretty much helpless in that position. We are going to capture this base 2-1, and the Cleveland's all alone. And there's only, 45 seconds left in the game. 8 kills, Kraken Unleashed, Confederate, high caliber, and yet the only passive that we were able to unlock from our legendary commander was 1% extra fire. It's very challenging to get up to 2 million potential damage while piloting the battleship. It's just, sometimes they miss, but most of the time they don't, and it's pretty easy. Oh, we got our 2% fire chance, our 2%. Man, are we going to just burn things to the ground. So overall, not impressed by the legendary procs on a French battleship, especially compared to the French cruisers and destroyers that I played, and I'll share that later. But this game, it was amazing. 8 kills, all of those achievements, 2,788 base XP, rooting right there, helping me out. But look at how heavy the team was. Man, there were so many people that didn't do anything. But we certainly didn't. We did a mega carry with the assistance of a couple teammates. We were able to flank them and just destroy them. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can click the most recent or the most relevant uploads. You could also choose to subscribe to my channel. We do daily World of Warship videos, first impression, how-to, news, review related. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.